Ngcetama on Sunday, the news that not make the news. We're coming live from KwaMashu at Wiseman's Car Wash. This place is in Ward 104, G section is called. We are from KwaMashu, Wiseman Car Wash. You can see people come here Sunday, every day to relax. And there's an amazing coffee, by the way, here. I had a cappuccino earlier. It's amazing. You must try it. Come out and relax. People here bring their drinks. That's where black people meet and they network, meet, have amazing coffee. I said to you, I had amazing coffee, one of the best coffees, and I am a big cappuccino fan. So when I say it's good, it is good. It is literally down here in a place called, if you go there, and maybe we'll go before the end of the show, just to get a cup of coffee there. Cappuccino is the best. Right in the middle of KwaMashu, in the township, our people are claiming some of these, if you like, cultural reproduction spaces. It's the 10th episode of our program, Ngcetama on Sunday. The news which did not make the news. It was a very busy week for us. I'm sure those of you who follow Black First, Land First, and our activities know that this week, last week rather, the week that ends today, the 26 BLF members were acquitted, and we'll come back to that. We also know that I gave a lecture at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. We went to the case of President Zuma, and yesterday we opened the case against Mazzotti. I will quickly go through some of those matters in some detail. Now, let's start with the 26, BLF 26. 26 members of Black First, Land First went to Thuli Madonsela's office almost 2 years ago, in fact. And we were there to ask for her to investigate money stolen by white people. 26 billion rand stolen by white people from us, the people at the Reserve Bank. Our people don't know this, but literally just before the end of apartheid, white people, including Johan Rupert and his father, who's late now, Anton Rupert, sat with the ministers of finance and their brother of apartheid. And they wrote checks to each other of billions of rands from the Reserve Bank's money. Some of that money went to ABSA today. We know because Pravin and Ramaphosa are involved now in government, the Reserve Bank, even when the public protector, the new public protector, had said that money must be returned, at least from ABSA. The Reserve Bank has gone to court and say ABSA must keep the money it has stolen from our people. But we, 26 of us, were arrested. For 2 years, we're going on trial. Of course, we're out on bail. Last week, we went, and on Wednesday, our matter was struck off the roll. So we are free people, and we believe NPA has no case, and we don't have time to go through that, but it is shocking that the NPA has deliberately been putting pressure on the prosecutors to prosecute us, despite the fact that the prosecutors repeatedly were saying to the NPA there's no case here. So we are waiting to get the further legal advice. We plan to sue, not so much the public protector's office, but Thuli Madonsela herself, because Thuli is the one who made sure that we are arrested instead of meeting us. She's the one who made sure that we are criminalized instead of dealing with a very simple request: investigate criminal activities, corruption of white monopoly capital. So we are out, the 26 BLF members are out now. We're gonna have to take other actions to undermine white monopoly capital. So let us also congratulate Thuli Madonsela. You know, Thuli Madonsela was thanked by Johan Rupert for not investigating Johan Rupert's corruption, instead arresting us. She was thanked for that action with a big job at the University of Stellenbosch, where Johan Rupert is the chancellor. Now we understand that Johan Rupert has gone further and procured a husband for Thuli Madonsela. Johan Rupert got a white husband, a white man for Thuli Madonsela. We congratulate her in a new life with the white man. She has been busy with white people for rather too long at our expense. So Johan Rupert is a good benefactor. He gave Thuli Madonsela a job, gave her she's a professor now. Johan Rupert gave Thuli Madonsela a professorship. Now we understand Johan Rupert went around and got a white friend of his, and now Thuli Madonsela is engaged to this white man. So we say congratulations, Thuli Madonsela, in getting yourself a potential white man as a husband. White monopoly capital has been indeed good to you because you have served it so well. Congratulations, Mam Thuli. We hope that the new boss in your life will not be abusive, because our knowledge, white people are very bad people. We hope the one Johan Rupert gave you will not be abusive, will not be oppressive, but it is almost like asking a dog to stop barking. White people are by nature oppressive and bad. And by the way, they don't care if you are their servant or not. As Julius Malema, he knows. Dogs bark, and white people are like dogs. Their job is to oppress, and they will oppress. So we hope you will have a different experience than black people in the past 350 years. So congratulations to Thuli Madonsela. You are a brave person. That's all we can say. Now, let me just quickly talk about, I was invited by the University of KwaZulu-Natal. I gave a talk there Thursday. The shocking thing is that the media, in particular the media owned by a black person, Dr. Iqbal Sove is supposed to be black. He owns the independent group. They reported on my lecture, they lied, they distorted. They said I made inflammatory statements about Indians and all that goes with that. They're just reproducing a stereotype. Apparently, if you are revolutionary, you don't have a progressive views about the Indian question. We as BLF have very clear and progressive views, and in my lecture, I explained this. So we ask the media, in particular that owned by black people, to stop misusing the power they have to lie about us. We don't have time now, but we can tell you that BLF is coming out with what we call the Indian-African Accord, which is a proposal to heal the relations between Indians and African people here in KwaZulu-Natal in particular, through dealing with the truth. The truth is the relations between the Indians and black people or African people is bad here. And Indians often treat our people very badly. But we have a solution, and in my lecture, I propose a solution. I'm shocked to read that, in fact, I was making inflammatory statements. We simply said Indians were eating curry in India. They were relaxing there under trees. I don't know what else. White people went there to fetch them, to make them slaves here on sugar canes. And then after they created a racial hierarchy where they put white people on top, Indians lower, colored people and African at the bottom, so that the Indians and African and colors can be at war with each other to protect the white supremacist project, which was determining our relations. We said we must destroy white supremacy because that is the cause of our problems. I'm shocked to read from a black newspaper that, in fact, I was making inflammatory anti-Indian statements. In fact, the way Indian people in the audience and those black people Indian people in the audience agreed with what we were saying. And I saw the journalists of the independent newspapers interviewing them. Why did they not quote them what they said after the lecture? Because they were there. So, now let's deal with President Zuma's case, which happened, we know. I understand the comrade Shivambu is watching. Fighter, Commissar, welcome. But just don't do that thing of yours, man, of Mazzotti and DA. Just cut the DA thing, man. Cut the Mazzotti thing, man. Cut the London project, man. Come home, brother. Come home to the revolutionary project. You guys had 5 years yesterday celebrating. You're celebrating a project funded by Mazot. Anyway, good for watching. This is the most revolutionary program, decolonizing the minds. So keep watching. Yesterday, we know that Friday it was President Zuma's appearance in court. We say what happened there is Zuma 1, white monopoly capital 0, 1-0. Those of us who were in court or those who watched from home, watching the court proceedings, you will know that the lawyers of President Zuma make mincemeat of the lawyers of NPA, the lawyers that represent white monopoly capital. We know there's no case. We saw how President Zuma's lawyers ask basic questions. There is a white man called Billy Downer. For 17 years, this man has been trying to get President Zuma to be arrested and in jail for this matter. Billy Downer was dealt with. At the end, he looked like a man with a Down syndrome. And we're not saying this in a derogatory manner, but Billy Downer was struggling because he has no case and he has a personal vendetta against President Zuma. If you look at that case and what they're saying, he has a personal vendetta against President Zuma. This matter will be dismissed. I believe it will not be dismissed because it is postponed for the 30th of November. There will be still preliminary issues, but another appearance, the matter will be off the record. It will be thrown out because there's no case. If you listen to the amazing team of President Zuma, mostly black, they only have one white guy there who, of course, get instructions from these black superminds. They raised four critical questions, which they say they will bring as part of their application for what they call a permanent stay of prosecution. In other words, for me and you, it means throw the matter out of court. There is no case. Permanent stay of prosecution. They say they rely on 4 pillars to make that application. 1, a legal principle that you must charge somebody speedily. 2, a legal principle that you must bring the matter to court speedily. And the last 2 pillars are shocking. The first is that President Zuma was being spied on by the state illegally. Unlawfully. So imagine in a so-called democracy, you being spied on, you talking to people unlawfully, they're spying on you, and then they take that unlawful evidence gathered unlawfully to try to put you to jail. It does not work like that. Even under apartheid, you didn't do that. If there was executive interference, it means that Parliament and of course, they celebrate those amazing lawyers of President Zuma. These black guys are fighting. NPA is in trouble, and at the end, it will be shown this case was never about fighting corruption, was always about politically silencing President Zuma, more so bringing back this matter after President Zuma on this. The media is a blackout on this because they want to project the image that President Zuma has no support. President Zuma is the most popular politician today in South Africa. And if you were there Friday, you would have seen how the people want President Zuma to lead, and we stand with President Zuma. A thing which the media also does not want to talk about is how black first, land first was endorsed by President Zuma. President Zuma stood up there and said, of course, you must vote for the ANC because he's an ANC man. But he said, if you want things to happen fast, you must vote for these guys. Black first, land first. So we got the endorsement from the biggest revolutionary leader of today, President Zuma. If you don't know who to vote for, the command is out. Vote for Black First, Land First in 2019. If you want things to move fast, more so if you want to get back your land and you want to destroy white monopoly capital and you want respect for black people. President Zuma has spoken. Again, the media is lying. They're even saying Zuma says vote for Ramaphosa. He never said anything like that. He said vote for Ncitama. Yours truly. And we bow, we say, Baba, we hate you. And we want to say to President Zuma and all radical economic transformation forces, we will not sell your vote out. BLF will not sell your vote out. Vote for BLF. You're voting for radical economic transformation. We will use that vote to pursue the agenda of radical economic transformation, the agenda which you agreed with in Nasrec, the agenda which has been abandoned by the new leadership of the ANC under Ramaphosa. So there's clarity, there's no more questions. Siyayazi ukuthi vote labani.